Aimer here again with another Mission Impossible episode review. This time I'm doing Season 2, Episode 9, which is called The Seal. So Jim goes into a very dark storage unit to find his instructions. He seems to be cruising to all these weird places. The mission is to retrieve the sacred statue of the strategically important nation of Kuala Rokat, which has and this seal has ended up in the hands of the wealthy J. Richard Taggart, who refuses to return it. Jim assembles the usual team with Cinnamon. She gets a new picture here in the dossier scene, and off we go. And we are also introduced to Rusty the cat, who is going to be important later and is excellent at finding and retrieving things. So Jim goes into Taggart's office tower, where he lives in the penthouse, to deal with an accounting issue. Cinnamon and Barney go into the building as a news team. Everyone gets visitor security badges as there are defense contracts involved and security is important. Taggart tells Cinnamon his story. He purchased the jade idol, which is the seal, legally, even if someone stole it originally. That's not his fault, that's not his problem. He also, for our benefit, gives us a brief history lesson about it as well, for some bizarre reason. But I guess it's because we as the audience need to know what's going on. His position basically boils down to possession being 9/10 of the law. And the U.S. Army needs his company too much to do anything about it, so he's not worried about any of the ramifications. Taggart gives Cinnamon and Barney a viewing, briefly, of the statue in his vault, talking about some of the protection mechanisms he has in place to protect all the wonderful stuff he has in his vault. Meanwhile, Jim tells Ms. Putnam, the accounting manager, that his company is being systematically overpaid by Taggart Industries. While Ms. Putnam looks into it, Jim switches her Rolodex card for her computer service company and hands her what he says is one of their automated orders to be put into their system for correction. But said card starts completely wrecking the computer system. Repairman Barney is called, who says he'll send over a replacement unit. Jim heads into the elevator, putting his badge in an ashtray and climbing up above the car so that he can get up to the roof and start drilling into the concrete. Meanwhile, Cinnamon reminds Taggart about the curse on the idol, that anyone who keeps it away from its sacred place for more than 2 weeks dies, which gives the amused Taggart about 6 hours. He allows Cinnamon to stay and see if she's right, and also accepts her request to invite one of Kuala Rokat's experts, played by Rollin, of course, to join them. Rollin confirms that the curse is real, but by the same token, if the possessor of the idol survives 14 days, then that indicates that they are, in fact, the rightful owner. So delivery man Willie arrives with the new computer unit, taking Jim's badge while he's going up the elevator. It's closing time, though, so Willie has to leave the unit for installation tomorrow. As he signs out, he's also able to stamp Jim's signature where it belongs on the register, the visitor register. In what should surprise absolutely no one, the data control unit contains Barney as well as Rusty the cat. At that point, the security guards find that there's one badge missing, so Security Chief Conway orders a building locked down. At that point, a timed magnet device separates Willie's 2 badges, and the missing one is found, costing the poor security his job. That seemed kind of rough. Anyway, Barney gets up where Jim is, and they manage to get through the concrete wall towards Taggart's vault. Rollin asks if he can see the jade, but Conway says no, giving the weird goings-on. So Rollin says it's okay, he'll use his clairvoyant powers to see inside the vault. And he describes the jade and the rest of Taggart's vault in great detail with the help of some well-timed signals from Cinnamon. And also reminds him that he has about 22 minutes left before his 2 weeks runs out. Taggart orders a complete lockdown again because he's not taking any chances. As Jim and Barney look through the aquarium into Taggart's living room, Rollin asks Cinnamon to bring him a nearby flower bowl with water. She does so, slipping a small pill into it. This distracts Taggart and Conway away from where Jim and Barney are working, as they see Rollin causing the water to boil through some apparently supernatural means. Conway is skeptical, but the water is indeed hot. Rollin's next trick is to get himself covered with a sheet and then appear to levitate and disappear, but Taggart finds a helium bag, so the whole thing is indeed a trick. Rollin rushes to the vault using a special bracelet and ring to protect him from the electrified door, but pretends to be shocked anyway. Conway orders the vault protection to be disabled as Taggart doesn't want the publicity of Rollin dying at his safe. With the protection disabled, Barney is able to drill into the vault and inflate a balloon with an oscillator that negates the sonic detector. He also sets up magnets to collect the dust to avoid setting off the floor weight sensor, which I thought was really cool. Rusty starts bothering the fish in the aquarium while Barney is setting up, catching Taggart's eye. But Cinnamon's able to distract him back to the living room. Barney puts an extendable steel beam into the vault, allowing Rusty to climb in and retrieve the jade seal during a tense sequence. Rollin is taken out on an ambulance gurney, but when the paramedics get in the elevator, Jim from above gets him to unstrap Rollin and climb out of the elevator. Time's up, and Taggart tells Cinnamon he's still alive, so the whole thing was a Shaggy Dog story. Much ado about nothing. Cinnamon advises him to check on whether the Jade Idol is still there, as Jim and Rollin, as the paramedics, head out the exit with Barney on the gurney. Cinnamon casually leaves as well, leaving her badge on the desk as she heads out. There is an awesome use of the main theme power-up as the show ends, and in the car, Rusty meows as we get an everybody laughs ending. I'm going to give this episode a grade of a B+. There are some really good things about it. Some people think it's one of the best episodes of Mission there ever is. I certainly can't put it in that category. But what is good about it? Excellent teamwork. That's one thing everybody I think by now knows that I look for in all of these episodes. Everybody's got a job to do, and they all do their jobs well, and everything that's done is really, really critical to achieving the end goal, which is always a sign of a good episode. This is the first time as far as I can tell, I don't recall any others previously, that there was the sort of chicanery done with elevators. I know that in the first episode of this season, The Widow, Barney does mess with elevators a little bit to kind of simulate an elevator falling down and crashing. But, where they kind of go up and down with the elevators and kind of, hold on while the elevator's going by and stuff like that, that's new. And I think this is kind of where most of it began. And I think some of the footage is actually recycled in later seasons. I've got my notes over here. Sorry, that's what I'm looking over there. Lots of very, very neat techniques to get the job done. Which I like. There's some new things going on in this episode in terms of how the team completes its mission. Talking to some of the lower level people, like what Jim does in the accounting department, is really, really cool. I thought I really like that part of it. I also really like what is also good is the science behind defeating the vault. Like all the preparation that went in there to defeat the sound system, the sonic alarm, also the floor alarm. Like Barney has to put in these weights so that when he drills in and into the metal, the magnets kind of catch the little bits of metal that are going to be falling out of the wall, so that it doesn't fall on the floor and trip the weight sensor, and obviously also I forget what other sensors were there, but those little touches were really, really, really nice. The team really, really earns their win here. They're not going after a schmuck in J. Richard Taggart. He's not lame. He's not a schmuck. But here comes the but. The bad in this episode, I don't really like Darren McGavin, who plays Taggart, as a villain. He's not like. Where do I even say? I don't feel there's enough direct interaction between the main plot of what the IMF has to do. I know it's kind of a misdirection play. It's not like Jim and Barney can just kind of waltz into his office and say, "Hey, we're here to steal your thing." I get that, but just in the way that the interaction happens, I don't know. Something kind of turned me off about it. I think part of it is just Darren McGavin as an actor. Maybe this was deliberate on his part. I don't know. But the character Taggart just seems so kind of almost indifferent and lackadaisical during the whole episode and everything that's going on. Like, you know, I almost think he's gonna just kind of almost break out some marijuana or something and just kind of sit there and just say, oh man, I don't really care what's going on or whatever. You know, and that's kind of a turnoff. And I don't know whether, you know, that was Darren McGavin just playing him that way, or whether Darren McGavin is just that way. But either way, that really did not work for me. And that was kind of a turnoff. My 3 kisses of death when it comes to a Mission Impossible antagonist is, you know, if they're a schmuck, that's obviously a big turnoff. If they're lame, meaning that they just have an overall goal which is just stupid or just greed for its own sake or something like that, that's also a big turnoff for me. And the third one is when they're just not interesting, when they're unengaging. And to me, Taggart is just unengaging. Like, he's just a rich dude who's come into something that the IMF wants. And explain to me again why I'm supposed to care? I don't know. That's just how it hit me. I'm sure that there are some people out there who are very, very entertained with this episode. I agree. It does have its high points. It's a good episode, but I certainly cannot put it up in that upper echelon. It just doesn't quite do it for me, and I think it's mostly just because of the antagonist and or the way he was played. That's just my take on it. Anyway, that's all for this one. Thank you for watching. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. I'm still looking for more subscribers. I know there's a lot of fans out there, and I'm really enjoying what I'm doing with these videos. Please leave your comments. If you disagree, I would love to hear what you have to say. I love the continued feedback that I'm getting from you fans out there. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.